Hello, folks. Yes, no glasses today.
I was gonna ask
Welcome to
about that.
yeah. So they're
You must
over
have had a
somewhere
quick
else.
sex session and you had to take your
Uh,
glasses.
yeah, all by myself. Anyway,
Yeah.
welcome to another edition of No Filter Sports. Yes, actually, yeah, there is sports supposedly coming,
Yeah.
but there is actually some sports happening as we speak. Not the North, the National Women's Soccer League, they're having their Challenge Cup tournament off to the races. So they're in their second week as we speak. And as for other soccer, MLS is going to start theirs in a couple of days. We also have NBA. They're about to head down to Orlando. The NHL is finalizing their setup for their sort of sprint tournament.
Mhm.
They'll be having two places in Canada. Toronto and Edmonton will be their hub homes for their Stanley Cup playoffs, and where Edmonton will be hosting both the conference finals and the Stanley Cup championship. And Major League Baseball, they finally settled all their player disputes and all that stuff. So they're going to have a 60-game season. But guess what? All that gets wiped away because what we're talking about, name changing. The Redskins and possibly maybe the Cleveland Indians changing their name because their nickname is offensive. Um, Here's my thought on this. I feel like, okay, there's a good high percentage of people who are supposedly this name is supposed to be offended, stated in a survey, a national survey, stated that we don't give a crap about this name, or better, they feel like it's not that offensive. And then you have a small group of people who have been fighting this for over 20, 30 years. They want the name change, but it takes a corporation, FedEx to be, mind you, to force the Washington Redskins to probably quote unquote look into it to see this name change. Um, Trump, I know that we've had personal discussions about this and with our friends as well. Officially on No Filter Sports, do you feel like this name change thing is worth it?
Yeah, I think they should have been changed it. Um, I think they should have been changed the name. And if I were anybody in uh, the Black Lives Matter movement or whatever that are congratulating Dan Snyder on coming to his senses, I would hold fast because you didn't win. You actually lost. Because what happened was, even though the name's going to be changed, it took you to hit his pockets for him to change the name. He didn't do it out of feeling, oh wow, this is wrong, I should do it. No, he did it because he was getting threatened by sponsors and investors
Mm-hmm.
of losing millions, possibly billions of dollars. That's why he did it. So no, you did not win. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you didn't win the battle, but you did win the war, which is most important. And the name is going to be changed. I have some inside information.
Mm-hmm.
The inside information I have is that the name of the Washington Redskins will be the Washington Warriors. That is information I got from somebody that they're going with because it requires minimum change. The only thing they have to change is the logo on the helmet, which they're going to change back to what they had in the 70s with the feather,
the, the spear.
the spear, or the thing that came.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to change it back to that. I've also got inside information that the uniforms are going to change to their homecoming uniforms that look
Mm-hmm.
like Florida State. That is going
Yeah.
to now be their permanent uniforms. I'm not sure if that's going to take effect this season or next season, but I know this season for sure they won't have the Redskin logo on the helmet. Now,
Right.
next season, they may start using the Florida State type uniforms they use for homecoming. I got that on a
Right.
good, credible source. So if it doesn't happen, don't blame me.
Okay. I was hoping for. I mean, the Warriors nickname has been when the name was forced to change, or let me rephrase that. What they were when the rumor mill was like about the Redskin needing to change their name. the Warriors, Washington Warriors, has always been circling around. I personally don't. I felt like was like, oh, that's just an easy thing, kind of, easy thing to do. I personally, I've been seeing, like I said, been seeing around is some logos and some names thrown around there. One of them was the Red Tails, and honoring the Tuskegee Airmen. And I figured it's like, well, that'll be perfect. I mean, mind you, is again, you keep the color schemes, you keep the red part, just change it to tail, red tails and all that stuff.
I agree with you. I don't mean to cut you off, but here's what I heard about that. What I heard was that they want to continue honoring Native Americans, which is not why they're not going to go to Red Tails. They want to continue honoring Native Americans. Red Tails, of course, was a black Tuskegee Airman, right?
Right.
Fighter. But they want to continue the tradition of honoring Native Americans, and the Warriors was the closest thing that they could get to it. Red Tails, I agree with you. The Red Tails, you know what I'm saying? I like it. But they want to continue a tradition of not tradition, because Redskins wasn't really honored. But they still want to go into that style, Warriors. So
I get it. I mean, they could have gone back to Braves. I mean, that was their original name when they were in Boston. They were known as the Boston Braves, and now Washington Braves. I mean, it's still, again, it's not offensive, or I don't think it's offensive. But I feel like, all right, you again, you still want to honor Native Americans. All right, you found the simple route. All right, that's on you. So, but like I said, it's me personally. Now let's put it this way. Now getting into the Cleveland Indians, because now they're looking into their internal selves and seeing the fact that they may change their name, and they've had several name changes before sticking with Indians for now pretty much over 100 years. So my personal the name that I feel like you should go back to is Spiders. I mean, that would be kind of cool.
They were the Spiders before?
They've had the Blues. They were known as the Naps.
Hold on. The Naps, NAPSs?
Yeah, because it was in honor of a former
black people, not be hated black people.
No.
Oh,
it's not about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was honoring. Yeah, but it was honoring somebody else. But the Spiders too. Yeah. So they were known as the Spiders before too. So there's for some of their names they could have gone to. So, but I felt like the Arachnids. I mean, come on.
Who?
I mean, no one or that's what a spider is. It's called an arachnid.
Yeah, I know, but they were called the Arachnid before?
No, they were called the Spiders. That was their prior name.
You prefer the Cleveland Arachnid?
No, arachnids.
That's what you would prefer them to be?
Or just spiders. Just call them spiders. Yeah, the Cleveland.
I was gonna say, I would prefer arachnid. Sounds retarded.
Well, knowing Cleveland, they can't even say that word, so they'll say something.
Right, arachnids. I'm like, well, why don't you just call them the Cleveland Spiders or that shit? How about this? You know what? How about this shit? For all sports, okay? Drop all nicknames and just call yourself your team city. San Francisco at Washington, and then have the logo of the city, the backdrop as your logo. How about that? Because all this naming shit is ridiculous, because it's going to go from the Indians to the Braves. How about the Kansas City Chiefs?
No one's talking about the Chiefs. That's the thing. That's the funny thing. No one. The funny thing is, like I said, this whole thing has been going on for 30 years of trying to change. But the thing is, it was like the Braves, the Indians, and the Redskins were the original three teams that everyone was gunning for because they were the hottest teams at the time.
Well, the Boston Braves, why didn't the Redskins just keep the Braves? Well, that's us going back as to why they do it.
Well, here again, the real reason why they changed the name from Boston Braves to when they were still in Boston to the Boston Redskins was because of the fact that there was a baseball team up in Boston as the Boston Braves. So, and that was the team Atlanta Braves was originally from. So instead of the confusion, they decided to, okay, let's change it up and change it to Redskins. So, and then from that point on, they kept the name Redskins even when they moved down to Washington in 1937. So the thing is, I feel is like, again, if one group, I remember there was an interview that President Obama was asked several years ago, and he was pretty much asked, it's like, well, they were thinking about changing the name of the Redskins. How do you feel? And he said, well, if a small group of people feel offended by this, then you have to probably have to make that decision to change it if you feel so. So, and I know the Washington Redskin historian. His name is Mike Richmond, and we've had a good discussions about years past about the Redskin history and things of that nature, and especially about Preston Marshall, who's the original owner of the Redskins, who's a complete racist. I mean, he held out of bringing in a black man into the team as long as he could. And the whole thing with the Redskins itself, this history is always had a very sort of like a dark cloud and a shining light from time to time. And usually that shining light is when they won those 3 Super Bowls with Joe Gibbs. And the dark cloud, everything in the dark cloud has always been about racism in a sense. From the name to the owner to what the owner has done, there's just this little huge dark cloud that kind of looms over the Redskins for a long, long time. And if a name change is something to re-spark their significance and relevance into the NFL world as a legit team, okay, so be it. Let's see how that happens, because we've seen how the Wizards had to change their name from the Bullets to the Wizards because Abe Pollin made that decision himself. Because when they
what's going to happen eventually is that somebody's going to find something wrong with something.
Of course.
Eventually it's going to get to a point where everybody needs to stop it right now. Stop nicknaming sports teams and just name them after the city. You're the team from Detroit. Where is Washington at Detroit? Your logo is going to represent your city. To hell with the nicknames, because in 20 years, it's going to be somebody's going to find something wrong with something. Eventually, somebody's going to find something wrong with the Baltimore Ravens. Eventually, somebody's going to find something wrong. Yeah, exactly. How? But it's going to happen. Eventually, somebody's going to find something wrong with the Detroit Pistons. Eventually, somebody's going to say, you shouldn't name your team after lions. Lions are beautiful creatures. They shouldn't be portrayed in the way of violent sport. It's going to happen. Look how we have evolved today. It's going to happen. And so at this point, my suggestion to all sports teams, enough with the nicknames. Just be your city. And your logo can be your city. Major League Baseball, Detroit. The NFL, Washington at New York. I don't want that to happen, but we're getting to the point where now everybody's finding offense with every thing. Now the Redskin name, I get you. I understand the Redskin name, I get you. So let's have some fun with this. Just for this year, Daniel Snyder. Just for this year, and then next year we can go ahead with the Warriors. Let's be the Washington Caucasoids. Let's be the Washington Caucasoids. Now, for those listening to this, I love all people. I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist at all. I love black people, white people. I don't believe in racism. I'm an individualist, to be honest with you. But let's call ourselves for 1 year the Washington Caucasoids. And let's paint the face on the helmet white instead of red. And let's see what happens. I'm serious. Let's have the logo be some mountains from Europe, and then the paint the face white, take the feather off, and for this 1 year only, the team, whether they're at home or on the road, their only color uniform should be white. I don't care. They should wear white all year, white socks, white everything should be white all year. Let's try that for 1 year, and then we can go to the Warriors in 2021. I'm just saying.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's a suggestion.
It's just a suggestion. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Anywho, well, like I said before, sports is slowly coming back, And like I said, this Premier League soccer, pretty much all of European, I wouldn't say all, yeah, pretty much all of European soccer has come back. Here in the States, we have MLS going to start up their little quick tournament.
I thought they MLS decided not to do it.
No, they're still play as of right now. They're still playing, even though I think some teams, one team I know of has some players and an official catching COVID. But as of right now, it's still a green light for that. Like I said before, the Women's Soccer League, they're on, in their second week of doing their little tournament. Baseball was the one that was the real tricky one, because they had like a good possible return to come back earlier. Pretty much this past week they could have came back with an official regular season, but then when in sort of like around late May to early June, again, it's all about contracts, it's all about who's going to get paid. And I felt like, look, guys, this, that labor dispute, you can handle it next year. We just would see you guys play, that's it. But then it just lagged, and it was about, well, are we going to get our full salaries since we're only going to play a certain percentage of the season and all this stuff? And to me, this is where I felt like, look, fuck unions. I'm sick of shitting unions, because this is where things, it's like, look, this is the reason I'm a big, huge baseball fan. I still love baseball, more so than basketball or football. I will go see a live baseball game anytime, more so of any other sport. But my main problem has always been the players union. And it's just like they're bickering with the owners. They've been fighting back and forth for years. And I went through 2 strikes with you. I've been through your stoppages. This is like, look, there will come a point in time when you guys realize the fact is like, look, get off the fucking high horse and just play. You could have played this for free just to play. I'm not saying it's like you're sacrificing yourselves. I know full well most of these guys wanted to play. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, can we just play? And it's kind of like, the old Bad News Bears, when they went to the Astrodome and they say, let them play. And that's what it is to me. It's just like, look, just if Korea was able to get their stuff together, mind you, they had stricter policies and able to hunker this down as best as they can do it here. They can learn from what the Korean Baseball League has done, and sort of implement it over here. That's all you need to do. But no, it was more now about labor disputes. It's about who gets paid what and how they're going to get paid.
Is it baseball the only major sport that doesn't have a salary cap?
Yeah. Everything. That's why the Yankees and Red Sox keep getting all these top players, because their budget is ridiculous.
Right. That's why they only experience like 1 or 2 losing seasons in 20 years, because they keep getting like, let me just say something to baseball and baseball fans. For those of you over the age of 50, baseball sucks. Let me just give you a reality about it. Nobody gives a fuck under the age of 50 about baseball. NFL is number 1, then it's NBA, and then, to be honest with you, it's probably NHL, and then Major League Baseball, to be real with you. Okay, so y'all need to get your head out your ass, go play the game, or sit the fuck down. Or don't play the game. The only people that care about baseball playing this year are motherfuckers 50 years and older, and you all are now in the minority. And who gives a fuck about baseball? Nobody gives a shit about a game that, look, let me tell you, let's be real. When I go to baseball games, and this is not just because I'm black and I like football and basketball. This is just the reality. When I go to baseball, baseball games, I try to sit down and watch 9 innings of this shit. I can't do it. It's too fucking slow. So the only thing that's going to make baseball watchable and better is if Rob Manfred what's the word? Is futurizes this shit. If that's a word. If it's not, I'm making it up now because
Yes, you are.
this shit it's boring, Brian. I've been to a couple of Washington Nationals games. The most of the time I'm walking around Nats ballpark, which is a beautiful facility. And they know baseball sucks. That's why they put all these arcade games and shit and everything around there to keep you occupied, because they know nobody's going to sit in the middle in the stands for 9 innings to watch this slow-paced bull shit.
Okay.
Now, if you go to a baseball game just to talk to your dad and have family time and have fun, and it's a beautiful game, and look at look at the ball, look, it's a 1-0 game. Then okay, you're probably old as shit and you don't have much time left anyway. So who gives a fuck? But for younger people, we want to. It's a lot of shit that can be done with baseball to make it so much. Baseball should not be on television until the World Series.
Okay.
On a rant there. Sorry about that.
Yes, you are. Are you done?
For now, yes.
Okay. To counter your argument, this is the real reason why I love baseball. It's the buildup, the pure buildup. Mind you, you can be there for 3+ hours, and you know, if you're at a live event, that's the one thing. You're enjoying the spectacle, you're enjoying the pageantry, and it's summer. I mean, you're there for, like I said, 3+ hours on a nice summer day, enjoying the nice festivities, enjoying whatever comes your way, and hoping you root for your home team to win. I've been to more Oriole games than that. Yeah. Yes. So
the fuck out.
And I'll never forget my first Oriole game, and I'll never forget my last one. My first or the latest one I went to. My
Brooks
first
Robinson?
Oriole game. Huh?
Brooks Robinson, right?
No, not Brooks Robinson. He was well. Actually, he was doing the TV commentating at the time. Okay. But my first Oriole game was when I was 10 years old. On my birthday, went to see the Orioles against the Cleveland Indians. They won 6-1. Mike Flanagan was the starting pitcher, and he pitched an absolute beautiful game in that. My latest game was the Orioles against the Cardinals. It was my first ever Oriole win at Camden Yards. The other times I went, they have lost to the Oakland A's, the Texas Rangers, and who else was the other team? They rained out in Cleveland.
So whenever the further Brian 3SL is away from Oriole Park, the more success they enjoy.
But like I said, the last game I went to, they won. They finally won. I'd never had that winning experience. But here's the thing: you get more memorable moments at a baseball game than you would I would say in any football or basketball game. Because I got to see Nolan Ryan pitch his first and only game at Camden Yards. It's like you rarely get to say anyone can say, it's like, oh, I saw so-and-so hit or whatever. I saw Mark McGwire hit a home run, which almost freaked me out. And, things like that. But as for, seeing a very celebrity player, a legend player do his last thing, I mean, it's a rarity you get a chance to be part of that.
Mark McGwire, you said?
Mark McGwire, it was like around.
No, what was the last legend game?
Nolan Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you really.
He just retired last year, didn't he?
He retired 10 years ago. Actually, longer than 10 years.
I know, I'm messing.
Why are you trying to age me for some odd reason? Because I'm not that old.
I'm not quite old, Brian. Quite old.
Yeah, true. But the whole thing is I feel like I said, it's about. I'm just tired of the labor disputes. I mean, you guys, they've been going through this since the 80s. Mind you, it's even further than that, but it's just gotten worse and worse since the 1981 season, where they had to split the year, and you had one. The Montreal Expos was like at the time was the hottest team at the time. I mean, 2 times the Expos had a chance to win World Series or get to the World Series, and there was a strike year.
You know what? I wanted to ask you that because I've heard that somewhere. Do you think if it wasn't for that 94 strike year, right, where we didn't have a World Series,
94, yeah.
Do you think if it wasn't for that 94 strike year that Montreal, because the Expos could still be in Montreal?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was, I mean, I just recently saw NFL's top 10. And I've been binge watching that lately.
Oh, I have a rant too. Go ahead about that.
Okay. Yeah. And they mentioned about what ifs. And this is the one of the what ifs in baseball is if the 94 season didn't stop, if they didn't have a strike in the 94 season, what would have happened in that year? And I felt like Montreal would have had a very successful year. I mean, they were cruising.
Everybody was division. Montreal Expos, yes. Expos Yankees.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, and the Expos had some top-notch. They had Pedro Martinez. No, Randy Johnson was already in Seattle at the time, but Vladimir Guerrero was their top hitter. I remember, I think Larry Walker was still with the team before he went to Colorado. I mean, this was a top-tier team.
I remember.
Yeah, Melissa Alou. I mean, he was in his young prime. I mean, this was a team that would have done very well in the postseason.
I was in 9th grade that year, and I remember, like, people coming talking about the Yankees because the Yankees had sucked for so long before that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that year, the year before, they had hit 500 or something, and then this year they were like balling. It was like, whoo! They were killing it. The Yankees and then the strike.
Yeah, then the strike, and again the strike was over some. It was again. It's just like, oh, we need more piece of the pie.
Was it a strike or a lockout?
It was actually it was a strike that led into a lockout.
Okay.
Because even the 95 season was in jeopardy.
Oh,
and
so okay.
So, but luckily enough, they finally got it together by late winter, so they were able to get it going, and we got back. And then thanks to Cal Ripken, he saved baseball by being the Iron Man. So
I'm gonna tell you, there's one team that saved me from like totally outright hating baseball altogether. And that's the New York Yankees. Because the New York Yankee dynasty picked up right when the Bulls dynasty ended, the Chicago Bulls. Then the Yankees went on 3 straight wins in the World Series. And then Michael Jordan and the Bulls won their last title in 98, June 98.
Mm-hmm.
They dismantled the team. Mm-hmm. October 98, or was it or one of the Yankees took over. Okay, they picked up, and I was like to me personally, I like dominant dynasties in sports. I don't like sports where there's a different champion every year. To me, it's like, I want to see a dominant champion get beat or win until they get beat.
Well,
that's
okay.
How I like it. And the Yankees,
yeah, but the thing is, it's like the way they did it, how they did it. I mean, majority of their players they brought in were, I would say a small handful were homegrown. They were just picking up people left and right. I mean, they had Roger Clemens. They were bringing in, again, like I said, it was all about they had no salary cap. And right. You really didn't give. And the thing is mind you, it's like it was at the time you could do whatever you want. And it was like, okay. But to this day, I'm not. One thing I am gonna blame is Joey, that kid who stole that damn fly ball away, away from Tony Tarasco, because that was freaking interference. Yes, during the AL championship in '96, and it was like that was bullshit.
That was horrible.
So, but that's a whole nother rant down the line. Now you speak of rant.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. You will get no argument from me on that. That sucked balls.
Yeah.
because at the time I was a Baltimore fan, and to hear that, yeah, that's but
Yeah. But you said you had a rant about the NFL's top 10 show, or
I have a rant about sports. Well, it's sports, but it's a little crossover. Okay, so you know that I cut the cable cord a few weeks, well, years ago, a couple of years ago. YouTube TV came out in 2017. I think I was the first ever customer in the world to jump on YouTube TV. Okay. So I had to stop it for a while because things were happening, whatever. I recently picked it back up, and I find out that I get an email a couple of days ago, about a week ago, and I see all these fucking new channels they got, because we got it at the studio. I got it here.
Right.
And I see all these new channels. I'm like, oh, wow. Now they got HBO shit that I've been asking for them to get for a while. They got it. They got Comedy Central. They got all this shit, HBO Max, blah, 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 blah. Cool. I get an email last week from YouTube TV talking about they're raising the base price from $49.99. When I first started, YouTube TV was $35 a month flat.
Right.
Then it went to $49.99. Okay, cool. I got an email a week ago talking about YouTube TV's flat base rate is going from $49.99 to $64.99. Flat. That's before you add anything onto the shit. So here's the arrogant part. I never heard a company do this before. And this is before they don't even have NFL Network. So I'm like, I guess when you get NFL Network, I guess that's going to be included in that fucking $64.99 price. Because if not, everybody might as well go back to Verizon, Fios cable, or Comcast. So they get an email trying to justify the reason that they're going all the fucking way up to $64.99. The email stated, and I'm not going for verbatim here. This is they're like, we're going to say we're providing this, and now you have options of this, and we got BET and VH1 and blah, 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 blah. Also, YouTube TV is the only TV out there that provides you unlimited DVR that you can record anything, and it stays on file for 9 months. The email basically justifying the reason they jacking the cost up $15. So now I have a decision to make. Do I keep YouTube TV and they don't have the NFL Network? This is I've written to them many times in the email. I said, are you going to get NFL Network? I said, I don't. This is when they were $49.99. I said, I don't give a fuck if you're $49.99. If you say NFL Network for $10 and you're going to put in Red Zone, I will gladly pay it out the extra. Your base price now is $64.99. Do you think I'm going to pay $10 extra for NFL Network and Red Zone? And then I like HBO. You think I'm going to pay another $10 for HBO? That's $84 some dollars. That's Comcast level. I was supposed to cut the cord with you fuckers, and now get the fuck out of
here. Here's the thing with sport networks and things of that nature. My thing is like I'm specific on the network itself with this particular sport. I'm crossing fingers to when T-Mobile for the last several years allowed me to download the Major League Baseball's app for my Xbox, and I get to see it for free. I pay it for free for an entire season. And it's like awesome for baseball. So I can, and here's the cool thing. The only thing that irks me is whenever the Orioles or the Nationals are playing, I can't see their games. But I
just fucking heard fireworks.
Fireworks.
Different the fucking July. Come on.
Anyway. So, like I said, with MLB TV, I'm not able to see pretty much you can't see your home team, but I can see all the other teams around the league, which is cool. I get to see, I can see San Diego, or I can see the Giants play, or whatever. I just like I said, I'm a baseball fan. Same thing can be said for if you guys have access to the NBA TV or NFL net, the NFL thing or what have you. I think those are more cheaper than you trying to pay 60 plus bucks or more and increasing.
Base.
Yeah, as a bed base. And mind you, the way I see it is like for them, they're trying to be in a weird way, kind of be like how DirecTV was back, when they were trying to sneak you in. It's like, hey, we give you the NFL. We can, you pay this little extra, around the time when the NFL season's about to start, they always try to get you. It's like, get the NFL package and all that stuff. Me, it's like, look, if you really want to save some money, honestly, I recommend is if you have a set, game console like you and I do, get that app, pay whatever, trust me, it is so cheap. It's like, less than $20 or whatever, and you have it for a season. Done. Unless you're not, don't want to pay, every year for it, that's fine. But if you want to, get to all the other channels, fuck the other channels because you're not going to watch them anyway.
Look,
I mean, that makes sense.
YouTube TV, you had my money. You had my money. if you would have stayed at $49.99 and just offered packages, I can deal with that. Now you're changing the base price to where I don't have an option. I have to either pay the base or let it go. So, and they said I have up until August the 2nd to decide, or August 2nd, my next bill will be $64.99 base, and I have HBO, which is $14 a month. So I was paying $14 a month for all this. So now with HBO, I'm going to be paying basically $80 a month, which is the reason I got the fuck off of Comcast and Xfinity and Files to begin with. So now where do I go? So I look into Sling. Sling sucks balls, but Sling has NFL Network. I'm a sucker for NFL Network. But I'm not going to pay just for one channel. I want something that has everything. So now tomorrow, I'm going to be doing price comparisons between YouTube TV and Fios. I have Fios Internet. Now I'm determining if I should just go ahead and add and have them add the packages in this motherfucker. Because $64.98 base? Or you're getting BET, fuck BET, or you're getting the country music, fuck that, you're getting this and you're getting that, and you're getting unlimited DVR, and you're getting this and you're getting that. Man, kiss my balls. For real. Kiss my balls, because I'm pissed at that, because YouTube started off as a sports geared type of TV cord cutting network. YouTube TV. I got all the Big Ten channels. I got all the soccer, all the baseball, all the shit that I don't even watch. I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm pissed now. But the arrogance of that fucking email, I have to forward it to you. The arrogance of that email they sent. Well, your YouTube TV is the only TV that gives you unlimited the DVR for 9 months and blah blah this and blah blah blah. So that's why you're paying $64.99. And yeah, man, please.
They're trying hard to. I mean, one, I felt like they're trying to catch up of what they probably have lost during this COVID time. It's like they're trying to pick up mind you, they're getting off of sports for a hot second. One of their top shows is not going to be on their network anymore, which is Cobra Kai. Trust me, people, you need to see Cobra Kai. And it's going to Netflix now. And I felt like that was their hook. Hold on, hey,
Brian. Keep it going. I'm going to refill real quick because that got me.
Refill.
Keep it going.
All right. So, but anyway, I felt like again, this is the old ways of trying to bring in people to get you to watch their get their service and things like that. It's the old, DirecTV move. That's how I see it. I feel like, I am not a fan of, of a whole bunch of channels, but you only want to specifically want one. So to pay a whole lot of money for just one, that doesn't make any sense. So I recommend people, again, just get an app. If just the app for whatever, you can, mind you probably will see your home team, you probably won't. But then again, you at least get to see some, the sport that you love and like, and things of that nature. As Trump is refilling, I will reiterate about the whole seriousness of the COVID situation, unfortunately. And I just feel that a lot of this is the other reason I was about to go into the whole seriousness of the COVID situation, why certain players are opting out, not playing. One of them is the most notable is Kyrie Irving. He's been very vocal about not playing the returning season of the NBA. There has been also some other notable players throughout the various sports who are in question mode if they'll play or not. In baseball is Mike Trout. He recently has his wife who's pregnant, but he's been going to the summer camp, as Major League Baseball has called it, and he's been seen wearing a mask and things like that because he understands the severity of his wife's health. So, but Kyrie Irving, I don't know what's his reason, but unless he feels like, hey, I just don't want to get it, I just want to stay away as far as possible until this thing is cured, which is his prerogative. My main question has always been is like, I understand it, the reason of taking this long, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, if certain places are in safe places, the one thing I feel the NBA is in a very danger zone place because they're in Florida, and Florida has been red hot, right, because they open early, they open too soon than a lot of the other states have. So I feel like that I can feel, since they're going to be continuing the season down there, I'm kind of curious and kind of concerned. As for the other sports, like I said, hockey will be in Canada, in 2 places in Canada. Soccer right now is in 1 location. For the women, the men, I believe they'll be also in Florida, which is kind of concerning. So, so there is a lot of questions going on. But so far, as for some of the sports returning, we haven't heard any newer cases. They do their proper checks, so they're making sure they're monitoring as best as they can. Do you feel like Kyrie has the right to be concerned?
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. They said it was up to the players if they wanted to or not. So he decided not to. And okay, end of story. I mean, it's that simple. It's like, you told them if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. Now, maybe it's something deeper going into the future labor negotiations. I don't know. I don't care. I'm coming to you from a fan's perspective. The Nets weren't going to win shit anyway. And to me, they put too many teams in this shit. And to me, I think it should have been
the division leaders.
I think they should have went straight to the playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think
they should have went straight to the playoffs. Fuck all this other shit. Round one,
round robin.
Round one should be the best 3 out of 5. Round 2 should be the best 3 out of 5, and then the conference finals and the finals 4 out of 7. Fuck all this. The Wizards ain't winning no fucking championship. What you gotta invite them down there for? Come on, man. No. The teams where the standings ended is where the standings should begin. There should be no extra 8-game regular season, 22 game. Was it 22 game regular season?
No, they're gonna play. It's just 8 games per team. So
8 games per team. Fuck that. You wasted the bank. Go playoff. You know what this will do? What this will do is in the future, it'll emphasize to these motherfuckers that the regular season is going to count, because something could pop off during the season, and where you are during the season is going to count. So you better play. You better not. This is good for the future because it's
I
going to make teams realize every game is important now. You can't sit your superstars during the season anymore because another pandemic might happen and we might need to pause the season and go back into a bubble. And where you are is where you will be in a couple of months. This is a good.
This is it's in connection to that because I remember for years that NHL and hockey, I mean NHL hockey, they're the same thing. The NHL and the NBA there's always been this situation where they want to shorten the season, and because it feels like it's way too long. I mean, hockey starts in October and it ends in June, which makes no fucking sense. And basketball starts in November, ends in almost near July.
Yeah,
that doesn't make it. It's too long. So a lot of people wonder, it's like, how can college basketball can start in November but ends in April? 5 months. You can't end this in 5 months.
Shit too.
It's just like doesn't make any sense. So I mean, I feel like because now like you said, the concerning thing is just like once this quote unquote the 2019-2020 season ends, the 2020-2021 season is supposed to start like in Christmas, and then end like normally, but then again, you're kind of like, okay, is this going to work or not?
Have no sense of tomorrow. It's all about today, and then when tomorrow hit them, they act like this shit came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. That you got to even, and I hope this lets people in the NBA know that, motherfucker, you may die tonight and tomorrow, motherfucker, you may live another 100 years. So you better play like every game is your last fucking game because you don't know. This will teach them that from now on. So I think the days of what's the word? When you would lose on purpose, what was that word?
Teams
that would lose on purpose. The days of tanking because of this rise, the days of tanking are over.
I agree.
Because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen anymore now.
Right. I kind of agree. But like college basketball and college football has that mindset. It's like, everyone says it's like you lose one game, just one. And especially if you're a ranked team, you're done. And because they're, which is kind of weird, but it's like, wait, what's wrong with being 10-1? I don't get it. They have no chance for a national championship. It's like, yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. So, basketball is a little different, but still it's like I can see good teams not make it because of the way they do their whole ranking system and how they bring in teams into the tournament. It's stupid. But the thing is like everything has significance. Everything is, from their non-conference games to their conference game. Every game counts. Yeah. And football, that's why I kind of agree with the fact of like a lot of people like football because it's 4 months and every game counts regardless. Yeah. And I can understand the significance of that. And that's what I feel like with
football. 162 games. Are you fucking serious?
Again,
162 games?
April to October. I have no problem with that. But the thing is,
I have a problem.
Okay, old man Trump. All right.
You're the old man. You're the one sticking all this.
I'm not the one who's complaining about it.
62 games. That's how it's been. It should always be. Come on, man.
But no, what I'm saying is like now, since they've reduced the number to sort of like a college level schedule, I mean, now is there again? The baseball is. If I'm correct, it's like there are 10 games against their divisional rivals, and I think 8 against interleague for this 60-game setup. So, which I think is going to be interesting. It'll be more focused on the divisional win, the divisional championship, more so than just again filling up crowds to see different players from different teams.
How many games are we doing? They're doing 60, right?
60.
Okay, so once this shit finally is over. And we get back to some type of normalcy. Major League Baseball needs to cut their season down to 124 games.
They're thinking about that too. They've been thinking about that too.
Do it. Fuck thinking about it. 162 games is ridiculous because you're going to have a bunch of it's a whole bunch. Don't get me started. NHL and NBA both play a 82 game regular season. They need to cut that shit down at least by 16 games to at least 66 games.
Mhm.
I think they need to do that. 82 games is too long. 162 games is way too long. Because you're cutting. Yeah, so I think this COVID thing is horrible, but I think in regards to sports, it has made a lot of people look at it in a different view as to a lot of shit that could be changed. 60 game season, I'm looking now. I think I can watch baseball now because 60 games means every game counts.
Yep.
It's not like you're going to lose a whole fucking. You can lose 4 series in a row and still win the world. No, every game fucking counts, which puts excitement in to the thing. And that's my only thing with baseball.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing: I'm praying if the Yankees start off slow like they normally do, I don't think they'll be able to recover.
Good.
So I would.
You got 60 fucking games. You knew that beforehand. Get your shit together.
So, but anyway.
Yeah,
so
man, we gotta.
Yes. So anyway, thanks for watching again here on No Filter Sports. Trump, where people don't want to find you because I know you try to keep your social media private half the time.
I'm thinking about changing my social media name to, if you want to find, it's at The Good Trump on Instagram, but I took it down. I take it down every now and then. Every time I take it down, I lose followers and people say fuck it, which is cool with me. So if you want to follow me, follow the company. Follow at Rip Radio. How about that?
Right. Okay. One hot note: if anyone is interested in seeing Bianca Belair again to wrestle, she's on WWE's main event. I've seen like her last 5 matches, which were awesome. 3 of them were against Ruby Riott. They were really, really good. So if you're hungry for Bianca Belair, that's where she is for the time being. But anyway, we'll talk more about wrestling down the line because.
Can I give a quick shout out?
Sure.
Can I give a quick shout out to Goldilocks?
Oh, yes, Goldilocks.
Follow at Goldilocks Rocks on Instagram and Twitter, man. Follow her Patreon, man. That's just a special shout out. Chick is cool. You know,
she is.
We had fun, me and Brian. Y'all gotta check that out on YouTube. So yeah.
Yes. And also check out her single All to You. It's a very special message, especially times like these. So I recommend you all go to her YouTube channel, Goldilocks, and check it out. It's a very inspirational song. So anyway, for Brian 3SL, for Trump, we will catch you next time on No Filter Sports.